Season 2 of Real Housewives of Potomac. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
All that pen and pinching that you do, you better spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit.
What up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy, Jesse Janity, here in studio for the Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm joined in studio. We got a whole new table reading for y'all. We got Miss Tiffany Williams.
That's right. What's up, guys?
Hey, get it right back. DJ Richie Sky.
Hey.
Spin it. Unless you're Robyn. Don't spend that ish. Just kidding. All right, guys. Season 2, episode 1. Don't let the zip code fool ya.
Oh my God, it's like same new season, same tricks, same bouginess,
You know
same
what I'm saying?
sedittiness.
I love it. All right, so wait, let's catch up. So I hosted last season.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is Karen. I just live for her. She has the most tricks up her sleeve. She's just this, always trying to put someone in check, and it's like, girl, come on, let's have a seat over here. We talk about people from afar. We don't need to get up in the mix. Who are y'all's favorites?
I gotta say Robyn. Like, I don't know if it's the eyes, just hypnotize me every time she looks at the camera, but I love her, how genuine she is.
Yeah, she does. Come on.
Gizelle, hands down.
Miss Gizelle. So I'm super excited. I went to the NBC carpet and I got to sit and talk to some of the girls.
Nice.
It was Gizelle, Karen, and then the new girl Monique, who I'm really excited because it seems like she's about to turn up this season just a little bit and get some of these girls a little upset.
I'm excited about
for
that.
the tea.
Yeah.
The other thing about this season, everyone's getting new houses or something. Like the checks didn't cut through that.
I noticed that.
New houses, not necessarily bigger, better houses, but new houses
Honey,
nonetheless.
resizing.
Resizing. Not downsizing, resizing.
Well, for some. Now, for others, it was a little bit of a downsize. Let's talk about it. So we see Robyn with her 2 kids, who were some slick talkers tonight.
I was kind of shocked by that, and she just lets it slide. Like, they blatantly said, "Be quiet, Mom."
Are you really shocked by that?
I mean,
look how
listen,
she let Juan just
I
walk.
was about to say, the way Juan was talking to her, I would have...
To me, like, from, like, a psychology point, like, to me, the way her kids feel they can talk to her and be like, nah, ma, like, and run her like that, to me, they're hearing that from someone. So it's like, because when the dad came in, they were like, Daddy!
Right.
All over them.
And his behavior was quite the same.
Yeah, he was
Very
mad. He was
dismissive.
mad disrespectful to her. I would have, like, went upside his head with that remote control.
But what's odd is when they cut away to her in the interview saying that he still wants me back. Like, what's the real
That's
story
what
there?
I was like, what?
What's that about?
He don't look like he wants you right now.
At all. He
Yeah.
wants you to stop talking.
Did you guys ever watch Wags? First season? Well, there was this one girl in there. She swore her man loved her, and we were just like, "Girl, you ain't married. Like, he don't. Nah, he
Well,
don't
that's
want
the
ya.
key.
Where's
They are
Pharrell?
not married. So, you know, why?
Yeah, they said that he wanted to be a couple again. I didn't see that. I wasn't here for that. Gizelle came over to visit Robyn at her townhouse, and
But wait a minute. I got to go back real quick. So, they are married, right?
who?
No, they're not married, right?
Juan
and
Robyn.
Robyn. But they sleep in the
They're
same
together.
bed.
But then at the
Okay,
same
come on
time,
now.
wait.
But they're
why
divorced,
would
right?
they-
Yeah,
They're
the-
separated.
They're separated. But then at the same time, it's also. Did you hear tonight? He was like, "Oh, how's your house?" And I'm like, "What do you mean your house? Like, don't you live in there?" Or is he saying like, don't act like you the
I
man,
was
get me this little townhouse?
Okay, so I was confused by that too. Like, she's buying the bed,
right, like.
but he's not. Where he's sleeping?
But then she got to check with him on the bed.
In the bed,
And
it's
he
only
not gonna
2
build a
bedrooms.
bed for her?
Like, how are they gonna sleep anywhere else? It's 2 bedrooms.
Well, honey, we need a doghouse
Okay.
for the backyard for Juan. because-
Robyn, we need some clarification on what exactly is going on in your household.
Okay. We will know. All right, so Gizelle came over to her house and took a little tour of it.
Which was an hour away from Gizelle. It's a road trip. Basically, needed to pack some snacks before she got there.
I mean, essentially, she said she lived in Baltimore. Now I don't know. I said I.
Okay, you're from out that way.
Exactly.
So how far is it?
I mean, she wasn't exaggerating. It's about an hour. But when she said Baltimore, listen, no shade to my Baltimore people, but like, you know, there's a little bit of a difference between like,
Baltimore and Potomac.
yeah, a little bit, just, you know, depending on where you live.
Okay, see, now I didn't step out of. I went and visited, but it was where the Gaylord Hotel is. What is that? The harbor.
In the DC harbor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's
No,
like...
it was Maryland.
Oh, so Baltimore Harbor, that area is kind of nice.
With the big Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like almost next to Potomac.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
I don't know. It was Gaylord Hotel. I don't know. It was just like the
think
biggest
that's
hotel
DC
I've
Harbor.
ever seen in my entire life. I was like...
Yeah, I think that's DC.
No, never
But
been
everyone out there is super nice. Like, just... Well, the people I met were really nice. I stayed at a real cute area. I didn't venture too far out.
That's
you know
how we
what I'm saying? So Giselle's out there with her, and she starts talking to her about Miss Charrisse because there's some tea between the two of them.
Got
So,
nasty, didn't it?
you know, I mean,
real nasty.
I must not have been watching Bravo because I was just like, okay. So basically, what happened was on the reunion, Charrisse made a comment. Now we feel a little differently about this, but Charrisse made a comment where she said, "You're acting like a whore," or what was it exactly? Like,
There was a whore implication.
in a sentence used with Giselle's name.
Right.
Now she didn't say you are a whore, but the way it was referenced, it could have been taken as like a, you know what I mean? Like, just like, let me grab my pro quick, like, girl, what you just
Right.
did you just call me a hoe real quick?
Right.
But as two friends for over how many years, y'all
7
should be able to
years.
squash
Friends
that.
or frenemies?
They were friends for 7 years. How can you
Friends
maintain
or
it?
frenemies?
I think it's one of those things like,
We
hey,
know,
girl,
okay, we
hey,
know the
Miss
difference.
Parker.
Right.
I'm sure y'all got one or two friends that y'all cool with
no.
that
Not for
you
7
kind of
years.
like wonder, like, okay,
Well,
y'all,
I
you
didn't
got
know,
some bad habits.
and I just cut her off.
We'll see.
How do you maintain that for 7 years? There's a lot of fakery going on. Especially for it to get so cold like that overnight.
Listen, we live in Hollywood. Y'all know what that
Okay, right.
is.
That's true.
Yeah, but like they
Point.
be going to too many functions together. Like I don't be out here with that. Like, and they too old for all that.
Right.
But then I guess it's money, and it's like, you know what I mean. It's a smaller area.
Yeah, you know.
And Giselle went on Watch What Happens Live and outed that Miss Charrisse had been cheating on Eddie, and maybe Charrisse was not, you know, the goody two-shoe, and maybe Eddie had reason to be in Jersey because Charrisse has a fireman that she been plunking on.
mean,
I don't know why that reminded me of a Phaedra Candy moment right
It was
there.
very much
Yeah.
so. I mean, it's like, not only let me air out your dirty laundry, but he's a fireman too. Let me tell you what he works at. Like, all right, you went there, girlfriend.
Right, like he worked at Station 539 in the DC area. Like, that was a lot of tea to just be spilling, especially like frenemies or not. Like, that was a little too deep. You know what I mean? Like, call her a bitch, call her like, you know, I don't know.
It was
But,
a
like,
little deep, but it was equally refreshing to see this other side of Charrisse. Like, okay, Charrisse.
It got her together.
Got a little bit going on, but you know, Giselle also came for her. She was like, you know, if you're gonna come for me slightly, I'm gonna tear your house down. Like, it's
Tasmanian.
all
She
or
did.
nothing.
But you know what, though? I agree with you with that. Because to me, last season, Charrisse was like, I could have taken her or left
could have left her.
I actually like her more as she's gotten more vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think, you know, when you're in a relationship for that long and you're not respected, as a woman, I just feel like you, or not even just as one, just being in that position, like you feel less than about yourself. And I think everything she said today, you know, it validated that. Like she said, you know, I have to be this Shasha. Like, girl, you too old to be creating a character.
Alter
Fierce.
egos.
But you know what? Like, girl, well, I'll play along with you for however 10 years, right? She was with this man, married
Yeah.
10, 11 years.
Yep.
So you do lose a sense of your identity, and so it's kind of like, all right, girl, put the Sasha Fierce album on. If you need to like shake your tail feather, let it go.
Was it just me, or did y'all get the sense that maybe she was trying to convince herself
It
that
felt a
she
little
felt
forced.
that good?
It was too much for me. I
Yeah.
wasn't buying it. I'm like, okay, this is either all for TV, or she really got tired of watching herself last season
I think that's
cry
it.
every episode.
Yep.
She's like, I want to be a new person, which is like this luxury that you get to have is reinvention. Like, and we get to see a whole new side of her, albeit it is a little forced for me. Like, I'm not really buying it just yet.
But sometimes you have to force yourself to make the
When
change.
you get out
That's
that
true.
bad relationship,
Yeah.
and then you gotta find yourself all over
Okay,
again.
you
Every
got-
day you gotta have some type of self-affirmations going
I
on.
got post-its, memos, like, just the people be like, why you got that red string around your finger? Oh, No reason.
A hoverboard and an alter ego and a new
Come on,
gay
let's do it.
BFF.
Listen, all I knew is why
Okay.
were they doing all those videos?
Y'all, first
Every
of all,
5 seconds she kept saying, "Let's do a video."
let me tell you something. This boy Sheldon, who is Charrisse's friend, I'm like, look at him, I'm like, how do I know this? I follow him on Snapchat, or I did at one point, and I'm like,
How old is he? 20?
That's what I was gonna
No,
say.
yeah, he's young. I'm like,
A little young, right?
Charisse.
He's a little too young to be her. Like,
It's her daughter's friend. Like that.
Yeah.
She adopted
it's
him.
almost like she's got a pet gay.
Yeah, that's honestly how. At first, I was like,
That's
oh,
That's
maybe
how
he's
it came across.
he's a stylist. You know what I mean? But then it's like, I mean, I get, like, I hang out with my homegirl's dad, but like, not like, you know, no, not like, but I'm always with my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. That's where it's weird. Like
yeah.
he's a little young for you, but I get it. We all need a gay BFF in our life to keep it real with us.
You know, and maybe she just needed.
I mean, I'm here
one.
for it, but I'm just saying that's how it was positioned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All I know is the scene opens and he's plopped there on the bed like a little puppy dog. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it felt.
It was. He was just clocking her like, yes.
Okay, but I don't want to throw shade, but he felt a little
throw
bit
it.
congratulatory, a little too much. Like that red dress, I wasn't feeling it. Kind of
No,
gave me house
okay,
robe.
wait. Here's the
That's
thing.
what I thought it was.
House robe, right?
Look, I was here for it from here.
Okay.
And then as I looked down, like, it looked like a kimono, and then them shoes.
And you
Did I
put
see
some
kitten
heels
heels?
on with that?
Did I see kitten heels?
Yeah.
You saw kitten heels.
Looking like Mulan kitten heels. Like, girl, put them away. Sheldon, don't let it do it.
Yeah, so Sheldon, we gotta like check your taste on that one.
You know, he was excited. It was the first scene that they were
It
shooting.
was his moment to shine.
Um,
We love you, Sheldon.
That was
do.
such
Yeah,
classy shade.
You know, girl, welcome to the table, Tim. All right, so last year we find out Charisse's husband stopped talking to her, and he was like, I'm gonna stay in Jersey, so deuces. So Charisse is here in this world of getting to know herself again. We go and visit Gizelle, who's in a new house. She's getting her hair done. We find out that she's talking to this new guy, Kevin. And well, from the interview I did with her, she said that this new guy might have some problems with her mom because he has to impress her mom, and that's going to be a big storyline this season. So, which gives me a little like Phaedra Parks kind of,
Yeah.
or actually more Rashida and Kirk.
You know, Gizelle also said something that I have never heard before, which was a quote: "Big things come in short packages." Now, what do we think about that, fellas?
Honey, I'm 5'6" and she ain't playing.
I don't know about that. Not so much.
I
Not
don't know.
5'6" over here. I've never heard that.
You've never heard that?
Big things come in short packages?
In small
Small
packages.
packages.
She
Yeah.
said short packages.
I think she just kind of, manipulated the phrase to suit her purposes.
That's always wrong.
I'm just saying. I feel like that's what she did.
Go with the actual sentence, girl. Who else do we get? Oh, the other thing with Gizelle, I thought it was funny that, and I would like to know if this was actually true, if Charisse's lawyers actually sent a cease and desist for not talking about the boyfriend thing.
It sounds true because Charisse mentioned it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Okay. All right.
Because she mentioned it to the stylist.
Yeah. It's
And
borderline.
That's kind of bold.
she mentioned it also.
Stylist.
The stylist. And then she mentioned it later.
All right, we get Miss Ashley. I loved her from last season. She's just this little spunk. She's like the girl. Like, it's like you need her on the show because she's just gonna fuck whatever scene up.
Right. And not on purpose.
No.
Like, it's just her. Which
Just
I
a little
love.
firecracker.
She's so much fun.
She's doing dance lessons with Tion, who we'll get into that. But for this thing called Manifest Your Destiny dance competition, which Gizelle lost last season, that she's now judging. And I'm just kind of like, the shade and all that, like, I don't need to go there, but I will. But, like, how are you judging people that you didn't win? Like...
Yeah, that sounds like a producer move. Like somebody planted her there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Conveniently.
Absolutely.
But the real tea is Ashley and Michael's restaurant, Oz, which was this Australian cuisine restaurant, which I'm like, girl, like, Outback is as deep as the Aussie as I will go.
And I love me some Outback.
Oh,
I
girl,
do.
that brown bread with that
Right.
butter.
That chicken on the Barbie.
Okay. They're mashed potatoes. Oh, y'all gonna have me over on Burbank. All right, so Michael has invested $1.5 million into this restaurant.
Michael is balling.
Isn't he?
Like, he balling.
Okay, the way they talk is like it creeps me out a little bit. Like I'm not at like, you know what, do the age thing, that's cool. But like he corrected himself, and it was more so at the dance competition when he was like, "Oh, I love watching you grow up," like, and it was just kind of like, okay, odd, but
he was giving you
but
creepy
okay,
daddy vibes.
but love. And then he said, "Oh, I'm always gonna be happy when I'm for you."
Right.
And I don't know, it's just those little things. I was just kind of like, whatever. I could be so reading, which I probably am, and just being messy, and that's fine.
I mean, but that's what they put out there on television.
Yeah,
like,
you know
that
what
was
I'm
what
saying?
they
Like,
said.
I love them. I think they're so cute. I love couples that are able to work together. We'll see how long that can
Right.
last. But
So do you think the sex thing is like?
I mean, that's like, okay, it starts with working together. Okay, then the sex trickles off. Okay, and then someone cheats, and then
Oh my God.
it's like a cycle. That's how it goes.
Honey, Tion, you better run.
But I thought it was kind of nice that he's entrusted her with this much responsibility. Like, you don't just drop $1.5 million to anyone, you know. So it's cool to see him allowing her to kind of grow within their relationship.
It is, and to like have her that free reigns, but it's also kind of like y'all need to really have a sit down and be like, Ashley, here's why we ain't having a kid, because you ain't even responsible to help take care of the $1.5 million that I invested in this Aussie restaurant.
Right. Well, even when she's talking about her charity events, he's like, okay, well, let's not do too many of those. Like,
I don't know. The way he said it, though, I would have been mad. Like, he made it seem like, no, we're not going to do too many of those.
Right.
Well, how you going to tell me what I'm going to do?
I mean, he brings home the bacon.
Yeah.
Like, easy.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's real easy. I write the checks. You do what I say.
I mean,
Okay.
you know, and at this point, when
Let
I've
me just do
invest-
this TV show and that'll be it.
Right. You exposing a little too much, because then we see in a future episode he's like pushing the cameras away and whatnot.
I love those moments.
Me too, especially with people that you feel would never do
Exactly.
stuff like that.
Exactly.
All right, so we see they got a new chef for the restaurant, and so she's trying to kind of
The food looked
persuade
good,
him.
though.
Oh, didn't
It did, but I watch a lot of MasterChef, a lot of like Hell's Kitchen and whatnot, and the portions were way too big. So
They
I
were huge.
totally
They were
under- like
huge.
that.
I mean,
It was-
but they were my size portions.
Right.
Like, that's what I want to eat
It
when
was
I
a
go
plate
out.
full of meat, and it was tough
That's
to
what
cut.
I want
Yeah.
to put in front of me.
A little overcooked.
Like I don't want to feel like I'm actually cutting into an emu. When I'm eating. Like, the fuck that is.
I
Yeah.
do.
Like-
Feed me all the emu. I
And
want
kangaroo,
it
too.
right here.
Right,
Yes,
like, I don't
all
feel
of
like
it.
I'm like live at the Lion King. Fuck.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Right, like and he's like, the salad isn't good. I like the salad. I'm also like, bitch, y'all can't be the people testing this. You know what I'm saying? You need to be eating with other people so that they can.
Y'all not about that life.
But even like watching their differences in taste was just very indicative of how different they are as a couple. It's like they are so different. It's gonna be fun to watch how this plays out.
Well, and then he would low key shade at her too. He was like, you know, oh, we have such different tastes in foods. You know, she likes McDonald's, and, and I'm like, well, that's your prom for buying her first Happy Meal.
Exactly. Ooh.
All right, so he says no sex till we break even, and I just think it's so funny because usually in relationships you hear the girl being like, you can't have none of this.
Right.
And mind you, she's over here like, I want a baby.
Right.
Like, girl, if you have a baby, you ain't gonna be up in that restaurant, and Michael's gonna have to take care of that restaurant too.
It's very
You
common.
got a baby already.
Exactly. A big,
what Michael-
expensive baby. But I think Michael, it seems like he might be pumping the brakes on kids for more reasons than one. I mean, he is older. It's rare that you find these older gentlemen that are excited to like start a new life over again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have they not discussed any of these things? Because it feels like these are first time conversations. You know what I'm saying?
It does, doesn't it?
Do you want kids? Did you? Does your shit work?
Oh, I forgot to ask.
Right.
What do we
After
want to
you
serve
spend-
at the restaurant?
After we spent this $1.5 million,
Right.
what do we really want? Like $1.5 million in, now y'all thinking maybe we should do an American Aussie fusion. Kind of how Outback worked, you know? Like,
Yeah, like you didn't learn that kangaroo probably ain't gonna fly.
like
A
and
nice
what's
little event would have been like a cast taste testing or something like that for like some different types of cuisine,
yeah.
maybe.
It's a good
Because, like,
idea.
no shade, but, like, you can't, like, if my waiter has to look me in the face and be like, it's not going to be scary when you eat the kangaroo, like,
Pass.
yeah.
Hard pass.
Like, first of all, how do you spell emu and what the fuck is a Ymu? Like, the fuck? I can't. All right, so we get to manifest your Destiny, which I thought was like a Tony Robbins event at first, and I'm like, did y'all just jack the name? Like, all right.
It did sound like that.
Sounds real familiar, doesn't it?
Come on, Hill Harper.
You better get that coin. All right. So the interesting part about this was I thought Ashley watching Gizelle's footage back and shading Gizelle's dance. That was editors love you. Love you for that. That was classic.
Well played.
Especially the fact that now Gizelle gave her a 10. So that's going to be real cute when they see that. And a little confrontation about that one. All right, so Karen. Oh, we didn't talk about Karen. So before we do that, Karen and Ray are resizing.
You mean Dr. Black Bill Gates?
Dr. Black
I don't
Bill
call him
Gates.
that. She can call him that all she wants.
I love her husband.
I do too.
He's
I like
so
their
nice.
relationship.
Yeah.
I don't
Especially
know.
when they were in the car talking. I mean, it was just, you could tell he doesn't take her seriously. At least that's the impression that I got.
I get an impression that he's a little bit annoyed by how demanding she is, but at the same time he likes it. Maybe he's a bit of a masochist. He likes to be told what to do.
I think
he does.
yeah.
He likes to be choked and stuff.
Yeah,
Woo! I just feel like, all right,
choking that wallet where it hurts.
Karen knows how to get that 9 bedrooms. Okay. All right, so they're house hunting. The old house was too big because now the kids have all left. And the theme was, I mean, if there was a hashtag to go with this segment, I would call it hashtag Keep Karen Happy.
Yep.
Because that's all she kept.
And a man knows, happy wife, happy life.
Exactly.
Amen. So I just wrote a whole bunch of LOLs because literally I wish Karen could literally just be on House Hunters, the show.
So, oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh Lord, Ray, the ceiling is right here.
My chandelier will come all the way down to this ground.
I'm just dying. Y'all knew that she was not going to be into this. She said, there's a powder room in the dining room. And then when she saw that master bedroom, you're like, whose house is this? Robyn's? No, I'm sorry.
Did she say that?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was definitely fun watching her squirm. And, like, even I knew as soon as we saw that was not going to work. Like, her stilettos were literally going through the cracks of that floor. It was just not going to work. There was no chance.
There was too many shrubs around the house. Like, she didn't have her half driveway. Like, it was just not working for Mrs. Hugh, girl.
You are too fabulous for that, Karen. We will give you that. But how are you going to be on the market to downsize and you can't even come to terms with the fact that that's what you're doing with your life? Like, that's what's happening. Is she in denial?
Well, the thing is you have to take down, like, it's like everyone looks at downsizing
It's
as
not
this
a bad
negative thing.
thing.
No, my parents were
It's
like,
like downsizing as in like moving to a trailer park or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
That's how people look at it.
no, like, I mean, my family was, after they didn't, they still in the same shit, but like, my mom was like, why do we have all these bedrooms and yet
Right.
no one is here?
Right.
Yeah.
She like, I gotta yell to your grandmother like halfway through the thing, and it's like, so it gets to a point where it's kind of like, Karen, you know what I mean? Like, but I get it because the shade, and you know what I mean? She's thinking of it like, I don't know what they're gonna edit, so I don't want to say I'm downsizing because
Right.
then they're gonna chop it up and be like, oh, I'm broke and oh, my money, like.
Resizing.
But this is why I appreciate Robyn, because it's like, I'm owning my townhouse. I'm happy
Honey,
with
she
my
has to.
2-bedroom.
Just no choice. Unless Robyn want to go out and find her a Ray. You know what I mean?
Can
Which
I say something,
Gizelle
though?
said, I want Robyn to lay in bed with the man that she can love. She don't love him.
He don't love her or she don't love him?
Both.
Because I don't know what.
At this point, I feel
Where
like it's
is
just
the
for
love?
A lot of
kids.
gray area in that
Can I say this
relationship.
though? If they had not made it an issue, I would not have known Robyn had moved.
Yeah.
I mean, here's what I'm saying: the inside of the house does not look. I mean, it looks nice.
Yeah, I think
think-
so. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not.
I would live there.
Yeah, sure would.
I mean,
Sure
You know,
would.
so
By
I
myself.
agree with what you're saying. Is that it takes? I think it takes guts to say, I'm going to downsize completely. I'm
Right.
gonna pull a Teresa Giudice, and I'm gonna. You know what I'm saying?
That was a life downside. That was just God being like, girl, you doing the most.
But you
Honey,
know what
I'm waiting for
saying?
Nini's
it's
deconstruction because I'm like, I know God looking at her like, you better be careful with that last season.
okay.
No, I will give this about Robyn. I do appreciate it because especially on a show like this, I always talk about it's like these girls on like Love and Hip Hop or even to Bad Girls Club. It's just things like that. It's like they'd be putting on for the cameras like, we know you. The
Right.
only reason you're doing a reality show is because you need a paycheck.
Exactly.
Or you had a day rate.
That, and
You know
we
what
know
I'm
that the producer also Airbnb'd you that house for today. So that's happened, folks.
That's one thing
I've
that I
worked
really
it.
don't like.
What?
Don't try to fool me.
Don't rent me renting houses. Be at
Don't-
your cousin's house. Like,
Don't show me something that you don't really live in on these reality shows, because I mean, like, you can't rent somebody a house and then try to pretend like you live there, but there's nothing in the kitchen.
Happens all the time.
all the time. Literally, you see them be like, that blender look real clean.
Right.
That burns me up. Y'all need to stop.
I'm like, what soap you using to clean your blender like that? Like you just bought it from Oyster, the actual company.
But they gotta sell an image, you know. That's the reason why there's not a Real Housewives of Baltimore. No shade, no shade.
I would. That would be the
But it
real
wouldn't
tea.
be
I would
better,
be
right?
turned. That's what Black Ink Crew is. So.
I love that show.
Me too. Chicago. All right, so let's get into it. The Manifest Your Destiny. All right, so we see Karen, Gizelle, and Robyn talking shit about Charrisse. Talking about she got stank face all day. As Charrisse pulls up with some stank face, like,
She did have
You
stank
talking
face
about
when
me?
she walked up.
Oh my, she heard him. Ears were burning.
ears were burning, fingers were tingling. She walked up in there, and again, just Karen, like she just knows how to flip it. We weren't talking badly about you. We were concerned. And we want you to know that you can talk to us about anything.
That was real Lisa Vanderpump of her.
How do we PR and flip this, baby? No. Ashley gets up. She does her performance, and Gizelle gave her a 10. Do we think Gizelle gave her the 10 genuinely because she actually has a soft spot for Ashley, or she was like, oh, I ain't gonna come off looking crazy because everyone expects me to give her like a 2?
I think Gizelle was just impressed that Ashley outperformed her, perhaps.
You think Gizelle owned up to that in her head?
I think it seemed like it was genuine love. Like,
Okay.
you know, she did a good job.
Ashley did work. She worked it. I mean,
She
even
did.
she just showing.
I mean, they
Ashley,
sliced and diced the footage, but I think she worked it.
It looked like Ashley just did a whole lot of
It was strategically cut to make her look amazing. You know, the fringes were blowing at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, she pulled off something.
She sold me. I'm sold.
All right. She tied with first place, which I'm like, was that a bravo judge rig? And then afterwards, Gizelle wants to. Well, actually, what did you think of the shade Gizelle at first when Charrisse had came over and she was like, I gotta go judge now. Bitch, you're judging right now, actually.
So extra.
I think that's just Gizelle. You know what I'm saying? If you watch her, she's not really confrontational.
Yeah.
Even when she's confronted, you know what I'm saying? And even when she's being petty, she's not confrontational with it.
It's just a cute little, like, paper serve. Like,
Right, exactly.
And now I'm gonna walk away.
Right. Gizelle afterwards wants to dip. She's like, oh, I gotta go dip on a date.
Now, that was convenient, Gizelle.
Right. Your date didn't come see you judge tonight? No.
You know that was just an excuse to leave.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
But Charrisse was like, can we just talk 5 minutes?
No.
Now, see, Gizelle, because honestly, I would have been like, girl, because what I need to talk to you about is going to be longer than 5
Right.
minutes.
Exactly.
Like, I ain't got the time right now. Okay. Giselle's, I don't know. So we listened to the conversation in the alley.
I love that it happened in an alley.
Yeah, like
So
there's
appropriate.
So gangster.
like we're watching Mob
In
Wives.
Potomac.
What did you guys think of this? Like, as far as Charrisse and Gizelle and how that ended, what's your kind of opinions?
I feel like Gizelle handled herself like she typically does, kind of stoic, you know what I'm saying, and non-impressed. But I think that Charrisse genuinely had a reason to be upset because of, you know, that sort of things can sometimes, I guess, affect a divorce. Mm-hmm. And that implication is kind of major. I'll say that.
I didn't hate how they handled it. I just had more hope for them as friends. I know we call them frenemies, but still, like, I would want them to be grown-ups in this situation and handle it like adults.
I I don't want my housewives to handle things like adults.
But that's why I love Karen.
I want somebody to storm off.
Karen gives me life because she's so over everything because she's too above it.
It's like watching like literally. I just want a cast of all Mariah Careys. Like just everyone's just no. Like I just can't. Like no one can.
Yeah.
Then it would just be passive aggressive shade.
Oh, I'd live for it.
I love it.
It would just keep me on the edge of my seat. Because the thing is this. I love Gizelle, but like it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, girl, you jumped the gun. Like she didn't call you a whore. Now the way it was worded, and you were upset and in your feelings because she said it on a reunion special, and it was like, damn, like you gotta do a little PR cleanup and all this. But like what you did, like this is some Phaedra Candy type shit. And girl, Gizelle, you being Phaedra right now, like. Own up to it. Like, just own up to it. Just be like, you know what? We both were petty, and let's just squash it. I apologize. Like, I don't need to write the papers and sign the papers. Like, we can just squash it. But yeah, again, like, this isn't TLC.
But I just feel like they are frenemies. I mean, even the first episode of the first season, they were going at it.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this is
par for the course
exactly.
for them.
Strike a pose. All right, let's head into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We have to experience Katie coming up. I just can't with Katie in any way, shape, or form. So she's going to have I'm assuming, a charity event, the Casino Royale. Which looked like my prom after party. We're going to see Gizelle go on a date with this Kevin dude, I'm assuming. Robyn's loyalty is questioned. I'm assuming that's the Charrisse and Gizelle thing. Mm-hmm. You can't pick, you have to pick a side. Yeah. Karen, stop it.
Stirring the pot.
And then Ashley and Michael's relationship is on the rocks. And he pulls a little Kanye West. Get that camera out of my face.
Natural, like the honeymoon phase is gonna be over, and then I think we're gonna see Karen struggle with having the downsides, her life.
Which that's really like all I'm here for, because I just think it's gonna be hilarious.
Meltdown ensues.
We need a little comedy to carry us through.
I think we're gonna see some sort of maybe juxtaposition with friendships, because I feel like the whole Robyn, Charrisse, and Gizelle thing is gonna become a lot more prevalent as something tells me that that's gonna be a subtle thing that kind of happens this season.
Right.
And I'm wondering, because this new Monique girl comes in who has 4 houses, as all these girls are resizing down to their new ones, and this girl got 4 of them. Clock. But now I'm going back to it, but and after watching the previews, she said on the carpet at the end, she was like, yeah, and Charrisse is my I'm team Charrisse. Charrisse is my homegirl. And so she seemed a little spunky, so I definitely see that happening. But
you know how they don't take too kindly to spunk coming out the gate. They didn't like Ashley's spunk. They're not going to like hers either.
But if it's Charrisse, Ashley, Monique team up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love a good team. I love a good split.
Is that your alliance? You're putting your money on that one?
Oh, no. My alliance is on always with Gizelle and Karen. Gizelle and Karen are always going to win. Like it's just, and that's why they never come at each other too much, because it's like, Gizelle knows, like, because Karen's never going to play the game the way any of these other girls play it.
Right.
So in her head, she's always going to win, which makes her win in a reality TV show, because she's the New York.
Yeah.
I feel like they're both like that.
No, yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Gizelle
they're both
is.
in 2 different ways. You know what I mean?
But I think Karen wins over Gizelle any day.
Only because we're watching Gizelle, like, as a single mom, like, and
struggle.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Well, I don't want to sound that.
In the best way. We
like,
all
they're struggling
struggle.
in 2 different ways. Like, Karen's like, the chandelier won't fit here, and Giselle's like, I'm trying to find a man.
Yeah. It's a different kind of struggle.
Yeah.
A struggle nonetheless.
Right, you know what I mean?
You gotta figure out where to put those chandeliers, and you gotta find
God.
the right
Can we
man.
have a struggle bar?
Can I?
As the season goes, we'll...
I would love
I
that.
would like to make another prediction that she is going to give some of the best shade of the season.
Yes! We need teacups for this season, y'all. Well, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You guys can keep in contact with me at DJ Jesse J.
Find me on Instagram at Roving Realist.
Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Sky.
Boom! Till next week, same time, same place. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.